So I'm Anush. I'm from Geneva, Switzerland, and I'm here for the Etsy shop audit.
How much would you say is in your shop for boho? Just people looking for boho.
Uh, a good 50% of the shop. The other 50% of the shop is the Armenian stuff. So that's not boho. That's my other niche. That's the one where, because I tried to open a second shop and I was, banned by Etsy several times in a row in the same week for that second shop. So I quit and I don't want to touch it again, not for now.
All right. So, Anush, we have all of the details here. I'm just going to read through it to make sure that we have everything correct. Shop name is Timeless Boho Chic. Shop age is 10 months. The niche is women in home decor. Sticking point, SEO, search engine optimization. Total revenue, $10,096.57. And the income goal that you had put into your input form was $10,000 per month by 12/1/24, which is basically a little, well, let's call it a year. And then $30,000 per month by 12/1/25. So the following year, so a couple of years. Is that accurate?
Of course, if I can make it, of course, yes, it's accurate. That's what I wish for. But
Well, again, Anush, goals are goals. It doesn't mean that we're going to hit them, but we got to set that bar kind of high. It sounds like you've done that. I like that. And I think that's the one thing that I want to say is a lot of people don't do that. They don't set the goal. So you've set the goal, you know what you want to hit. That's the target. Now it's a matter of, okay, can we hit it? So
that's right.
that's what we're going to be helping you with here today. And I don't know if you're going to be able to hit it, but we're going to try and we're going to go ahead and see what you have in the works and really what we're going to be able to do from there. So with that all being said, tell us a little bit about why the shop even started. Okay. Where you got the inspiration to go into women and home decor, boho chic. All right. Just give us a little bit of a backstory so we kind of know where this even came from.
Ew. Oh, well, it's always difficult to talk about oneself. Okay, so I worked in the financial services industry in Switzerland until the credit crunch hit. That was in 2010, and I had to start a whole new uh, profession, if you wish. So I opened a language school, and that was very successful. And I was employing over 100 people, and we were active all over Switzerland. And then COVID hit. And then that was the end of the game in beginning of January of last year, to 2023. So again, I had to reinvent myself. And during COVID, I got married and I bought a lot of my stuff from Etsy. So I thought, if people are selling on Etsy and I'm buying on Etsy, why can't I sell on Etsy? That's the first thing. The second thing is that I did a lot of bone china painting in my younger years, and I loved it. And I thought, okay, I maybe have an eye for design, and I don't want to do it by hand anymore because I don't have the eyes for it anymore. It's quite tedious. But I'd like to do something that could, where I could put my soul and heart into it, and my hope, my sense of aesthetic. And I love interior decorating. So that's what led me to Etsy, to home decor, and especially for maybe women of a certain age who want to buy things for themselves, for their homes, for their loved ones, and something maybe a little bit different to what you can see on Etsy. In a nutshell, that's me.
I like it. I like it. Great job explaining everything. So that really kind of gets us caught up to where you are. So the next question is, before we actually look at your shop, get into your shop, is and I'm glad that you explained that because a lot of times people need to understand like where it came from, like where the inspiration come from. So it didn't necessarily come from you being like, I'm going to go on Etsy, I'm going to find a product or find a niche. It was kind of like that was the niche that you felt like you were interested in, but it was also something that you were doing and something that kind of led you there. And you're like, well, if people are there shopping on Etsy for this, like I am, maybe I can go ahead and do this. So I love all of that. What you started 10 months ago, is that correct?
That's right, 9 months.
Okay, not 9 months. Okay, great. How long was it before you had your first sale?
Apart from friends and family,
Yep.
okay. Maybe in June or July, maybe.
And so
Maybe earlier, but it was not that fast.
okay. But still, I mean, again, a lot of people, it was funny. I let people know that I was doing yours, well, not yours particularly, but I gave some numbers and they're like, well, why are you doing one for her? She's already done $10,000, right? Like, like I want you to show someone that hasn't made any money, and they're coming, by the way. We've got a whole variety in this show that we're going to be doing, but a lot of people would be like, wow, that's amazing. You did $10,000. And do you feel that? Do you feel as though that's pretty amazing to have been accomplished that already?
If I think about it, I would say yes. But when I look at people on YouTube and they're so successful and so off the bat, and I have the feeling that I'm dragging my feet and not getting anywhere, and that, compared to them, I'm nowhere. So I would say yes, I feel very happy about that, what I achieved, but it's nowhere where I want to be. And compared to others, it's peanuts. So I don't know where I am actually.
Okay, first thing, don't compare yourself to people. Okay. And don't compare yourself to the internet, because the internet is like probably 25% true. And you don't know all the numbers behind the scenes. So that's the first thing. Like, let's not compare ourselves. I can compare myself. Chris can compare himself. We don't want to do that. So that's homework number one, is work on that. Cause you can't compare yourself to other people. Again, your goal is unique to you. Right. And so don't worry about like what other people are doing and falling into those traps. So that's the first bit of advice. Chris, why don't we do this? Why don't we pull up the shop so we can go ahead and take a look and see what we got going on? And once we do that, once we're able to kind of see the shop, um, we can then say, okay, what you've already done is great, but where can we make improvements? Or where do you feel like we can make improvements? Where do you think that you need the most help?
I would say SEO, be found by shoppers the fastest and the easiest way possible.
Mhm.
Finding products, I don't think is an issue. Um, yeah, I would say getting found.
Okay.
Creation is not a problem. It's more like getting found and getting more shoppers. Mm.
Okay. Hey, real quick, I wanted to give you a little behind the scenes on how these Etsy shop audits even happen. Every single month, Chris Schaefer and we meet and we batch record 3 to 4 of these episodes. Then they get edited and they get posted, like the one you're watching right now. But what we decided to do is create what we call our Backstage Pass Club. This is where all of our club members, they get to join us on that recording as we're doing it live. The other cool thing is you're able to ask questions, and you also can get access to the recordings before they ever air, immediately, raw and unedited. You even get all the questions that were asked that you might have missed because, well, maybe you couldn't attend that one live. So if you'd like to be part of our Backstage Pass Club and join our next batch recording session, head on over to brandcreators.com/club or click the link in the description. Now let's get back to the audit.
So
Okay.
it feels like a traffic problem, right? In order to grow, whether they're coming from SEO, regardless of where they're coming from, you think we need to get more people into the store to go from. And we said June or July is when you made your first sale, Anush. I think is what you said a couple minutes ago. So we
Yes.
did that almost $11,000 in about 5 or 6 months as of the time of recording this. And if the
Yes.
goal is to get to 10,000 this year, right now we're at about 2,000, give or take. Right? Obviously, that's not going to be every single month, but that's about what it averaged out to based on when your first sale came in. So really, we're looking to grow by about $8,000 a month. And based on what you've seen so far, you think the biggest challenge there is just getting more people into the shop.
Getting more eyeballs.
Okay. So I hear this a lot, and I really want to kind of harp on this just for a minute. And Anush, we told you we were going to be real, we were going to be raw. Okay. And you're okay with that, right? Like, we're going to be real and we're going to be raw.
I'm scared, but I'm here.
Don't be scared, because if anything, we commend you, and we are like super impressed that you've already done what you've done. Like
Thank
you've
you.
done, like you're part of probably the 2% club, because a lot of people don't even get this far. Now I'm not saying like there's anything like I'm going to say like right now that would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like I did that. It's a bad mistake. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is a lot of people think that SEO is the problem. Like that's the magic bullet. That's the, if I can get ranked, I'm going to be able to be successful. And yes, that's a great thing. But let me ask you this. Have you thought of outside of Etsy? Have you thought that, like, yes, this is Etsy, but like, what about outside of Etsy? Have you thought of this business off of Etsy?
Yes, and because I'm a very faithful listener to your podcasts, I did ask once, how about getting out of Etsy and going to Shopify or somewhere else, and you said, and I think it was very shrewd. Once you really master Etsy, get out of it, or branch out. But I don't have, so at the moment, I don't feel that I master Etsy 100% as I wish. So I don't want to, lose myself into doing something else like Shopify, Amazon, or whatever. But as soon as I can, I'm going to branch out of Etsy. That's for sure.
And I would recommend that. I would not recommend, and what I mean by recommending is not going to Shopify right now. You're not ready, is what I would
Okay.
say. Okay.
Mm.
But I want you and people that are going to watch this, I want them to understand that a lot of people just think if they fix the SEO problem, right, the issue is, everything is going to magically happen. There's way more to that. There's the email list, and you've been a listener, so you understand the power in that. You understand how we feel about that. You understand that Etsy ads is a big deal. So let me kind of run, I guess, like face first, like let's just get into like what you've already done to get traffic. And then what we're going to do is look at the actual products in the shop, because there might be a problem there and that might be the fix. But let's first, I kind of want to know a little bit of the backstory on, okay, what have you done outside of SEO and, doing everything you can to optimize your listings? What have you done outside of that? Have you done Etsy ads?
I have, because I've listened to you as well. So I started, I think it was in September or October, I don't remember. No, I think it was in October, because in September I was at 500 US dollar, yeah, 500 US dollars in revenue, so give or take. And then I listened to one of your podcasts and I opened my ads, or I put the ads on or whatever. I turned the ads on. And then I was in October, but that was starting, the beginning of Q4. So I don't know how accurate that figure is. I was at $1,900 in revenue in October. And then I was at 4,500, give or take, in November, but that's Q4 again. So I don't know how accurate these numbers are in terms of, of a reflection a reflection of reality, or how accurate that they are.
Yeah. Well, okay. So first off, Etsy ads, they're definitely, they're going to work better in fourth quarter. They're going to, like, we all know that everything's going to work better in Q4. So, I guess moving forward, you still want to use them, but not necessarily on all the products. So that's going to lead me to the next question, which is, and Chris, this is where we're going to probably want to look through her shop, is what would you say is your best products that give you the most views, impressions, and then sales? Like what ones do, and the reason why I'm asking that is because if you were to look at your Etsy ads, you can see impressions and views, right? And then you can see clicks, and then you can see sales, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, and we haven't even gotten into like your niche, but like your products, let's say outside of fourth quarter, if we're looking at those, what kind of demand are we talking? Like, are we trying to, make something work that just is not going to work right now because there's no demand for it? Like, that's what we need to identify that. So what would you say right now is like, yeah, I've got like 3 or 5 products that it has really good demand right now. And I know people are searching for it even today. Are there any?
Yeah, I guess so. I hope so. Wall art is something that I guess there's a lot of demand because I did my research and there is a lot of demand for wall art. Now, do they like this kind of wall art that I am offering? I don't know, but there is demand for wall art, that's for sure. Valentine products, I have loads. I know there's demand there. Phone cases, same thing, and I have a lot there as well. And I have a few bestsellers that have, mugs. And mugs. I sell a lot of mugs as well.
Okay. So here's where, and Chris is already doing some research, so I love it. So Chris is going to be doing this behind the scenes sometimes too, guys. So we're going to be doing some research so we can kind of make sure we get the most out of these Etsy audits. You had said something that I hear a lot from people is, yeah, I mean, home decor, wall stuff, right? Or mugs or whatever. The specific type of art, like your store is boho chic, right? How much would you say is in your shop for boho? Just people looking for boho.
Uh, a good 50% of the shop. The other 50% of the shop is the Armenian stuff. So that's not boho. That's my other niche. That's the one where, because I tried to open a second shop and I was, banned by Etsy several times in a row in the same week for that second shop. So I quit and I don't want to touch it again, not for now. So I'm stuck with this one shop with two very different niches. So 50% of my shop is boho and 50% of my shop is Armenian.
Okay. What one do you think has the most potential?
I sell as much in both niches. Just that the Armenian community is not that big, and that's not where I'm going to make my $10,000 in revenue from. That's for sure.
So where should we focus our energy and our
But
time?
Boho. The other one
Got
I
it.
think is, if people find me and they like me, they like my stuff, and I think I'm already a market leader in the Armenian things on Etsy. So I don't think I have any problem there.
Yeah, and I don't think that you have to abandon it. I just think like all of the time and energy should go into the thing that has the most potential right now, which
Right.
I think is boho. And so, Chris, um, can you do some searching inside of there, even just outside of her shop? Because I was doing a little bit of digging before we got on here. And if you look at some boho stuff, right? Like, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it properly. It's boho, right? But if you're looking at that stuff, it's like what is selling? I saw pillows, right? Are you selling pillows?
I am.
Okay. Um, I guess then it's like, okay, if the research that you did on the pillows, how closely is your designs or your styles related to the ones that are selling really well?
I
It's
don't
hard to
know.
say, right?
It's hard to say because I don't want to do exactly what others are doing, and I don't want to be an additional shop trying to sell what other people are selling already.
Yep. Chris, here's something that go ahead to the total sales, but then here's something and I think people can learn from this. Um, if you go also into your filters and go into shop, so you have to slide to the right, I believe. Um, yeah, go to where it says shop age, put in there 12 months max, just put 12. Okay. And then that's going to calculate. And then I want to look at, okay. And then go into product name and put include boho in the include. So guys, this is what I usually do is like this way here, I get rid of all of the other stuff that doesn't pertain. And then you might need to resort again as far as by sales.
Yeah, it actually just clears it.
Yeah, you just cleared out the filters. Yeah.
So you said 12.
Yep. 12
and both, right?
months. And then, yep. Cool. And then, yeah, you just have to, I think you can just go back to filters and just click on it. It'll go away, that little menu thing. Yeah. There you go. So then sort it by total sales.
Yeah.
It should be right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, sort it
It claims that it is, but it is
right
not.
there.
All right.
Okay. So then we have a robe, right? We have a boho chic. So that there didn't really do anything. So this isn't giving me any really solid results. So then I would say, okay, so now maybe I need to go further than 12 months because, and the reason why I did the 12 months, just so you guys know, is because that's kind of like low hanging fruit. Like if you're able to find a shop that has gotten sales or, you know, any type of sales in a short period of time, that can usually, it's a good sign. But that doesn't mean anything. So here we are. So there's a shirt there that was there. Do you sell any shirts, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
One thing that I'm seeing just right off the bat here, Scott, if you looked at, and actually I can just switch back to the other tab. So we look at what's selling here, right? These are the total sales estimates based on Everbee's estimates. And we see the rustic fall coffee mug, right? Thanksgiving pumpkin. This to me is somewhere, and again, like not a designer, right? But just having seen a bunch of these shops, this to me sits somewhere between like boho and cottagecore. And we're seeing that same thing pop up right at the top here, which is somewhere between those two aesthetics. So that popped out to me as soon as we extended that filter out.
Yeah. And so I would say like I think the best time for you isn't really, okay, how do I optimize everything for SEO? I think it's how do I find more products that have high demand in boho, right? Like that's where the time and energy should be spent right now. And then once you start to find those, right, and even a handful, because I've talked about this before. If you have 5 products that get year-round demand, that's going to lead people into your shop. And then those other products that are related are there as someone walking into your shop and they're passing it in the aisle. And they're like, oh, that's neat. Let me go ahead and put that in my cart. So I think the best time spent right now for you is that, because that there, we know that we have more potential. You might even want to go a little bit deeper and do boho wedding, because that way there, we're looking for people that are in wedding, but they're looking for stuff that is boho, right? So now we've taken, you know, maybe boho that isn't as big as wedding, but now we add that on. We kind of bolt that on there. That's what I would personally recommend. Let's go into her shop though. Chris, let's just look at the shop. And then what we can do is, yeah. And then I want to look, okay, just scroll down. Scroll down. Yeah. So even on your left-hand side in all of your different categories, I definitely would make sure, like, I don't see boho in there. Maybe I do. I don't know. Chris, do you see it?
No, it's not
No,
there.
I want boho in there.
Okay.
For sure. And then scroll down, Chris. Like you have wait a minute. You have your categories at the top there, and I didn't see anything there, boho either. Right? Floral coffee. Okay. Butterflies and heart woven blanket. Okay. So we have to keep in mind that number one, your title is your most important part. Number two, we want to tell people, or we want to have the thing that people are searching for. Are people searching for butterflies in a heart woven blanket, Valentine's? I don't know. I don't think so. So that's why this would need to be like, so where you have it, it's where boho throw cover, right? Like something like that would probably be closer to the front. But again, I don't know if people are searching for a boho blanket. Probably, but maybe more people are searching for a boho tapestry. You know, that's where the research comes in. But I would really make sure that everything that you're doing has boho in it. Like that would be it. Like you can add on wedding if you want. You know, you can add on something else. Maybe even another style, right? Another type of home decor. But that's really where I think it is. So if we look at this listing, let's just look at the listing itself, right? Pictures are good, right? Yep. So we're kind of scrolling through that. That's a nice little mock-up there. So that there goes behind the bed, it looks like. Oh, you got a QR code. That's cool. So that's probably going to take them to, is that going to like a landing page for people to opt in?
No, because I heard that yesterday only in the workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually a share and save link back to.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And Scott, you pointed something out here that I don't want people to miss. You said, hey, you know, I don't know that people are looking for butterflies and heart woven blanket. Why did you recommend that you put boho towards the front of the title? Because a lot of the times we talk about, Etsy really looks at this and they say, okay, if it's in your title, your tags, your description, you qualify for it. But is there a specific reason you would put that towards the front of the title if you were rewriting this description or this title and all of the other titles?
Well, yeah, because that's the first thing that people are going to see, number one. So when they're scrolling, right? If we put it where it is right now, you might not see it, because if you're on mobile, it's going to truncate it where you're not able to see it. So to me, and there's no proof of this, but I mean, ever since I've been doing blogging, Amazon, any of that stuff, it's always been said that the front of the keyword or the title is weighted the heaviest, meaning that gets the most results for the search engine to be able to index. But
And
it's
Etsy
also,
does
yeah,
specifically talk about that in their SEO documentation. So they say everything is equal except for the first few words of the title. How many is a few? We don't know. But if we can include the thing that people are actually looking for in those first few words and still have it be a human readable title, right? So what is this title? Boho chic, butterflies and heartwoven blanket or tapestry, right? Just rephrase it so that the descriptor of what it is comes first and the design comes second. In addition to that, you have the truncation issue, especially on mobile and in the app where they show different character limits. And so if we can make sure that we show up with that at the beginning, if somebody's searching for boho chic or boho blanket, let's say, and this listing comes up, mine says boho blanket at the beginning, yours doesn't. In the mind of the consumer, there's potentially a better match with my design than there is with your design because mine says boho. Does that make sense?
It's psychology.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And, someone had said in the comments here that, cottage core is really hot right now. So again, yeah, you probably want to include that too, right? As long as it is what you're stating it is, right? That's the important part. But Chris, can you back out and go back to the shop again real quick?
Yeah.
But again, I just want to say this while we're doing this right here. Basically, Anush, what I'm saying is this. We can go ahead and talk about all of the other marketing stuff that we can do. But the first thing is we got to have products that people are actually searching for. And you may have them. We just may need to restructure some of the titling, right?
That's right.
And moving forward, instead of you thinking that you're going to split your focus and kind of go into these different ones that aren't related to boho, I would need boho to be in there. And I think for the next 3 months, you should be head down boho, and that's it. And then just any new products that you're putting up are going to be boho for that customer, right? And thinking also, what could they buy together, right? If they bought a pillow, is there a matching blanket? Is there something else that could be purchased together? And that's kind of where I would probably lean into. I think I would also lean into wedding. I think I would tap into wedding because people are searching for boho wedding stuff. If you look up just boho wedding, you're going to have a whole Pinterest community out there that's like all about boho weddings, right? I mean, heck, there's, barn wedding stuff, right? And then there's mid-century modern wedding stuff, and there's all these different ones. So for you, your boho right now, let's go all in and find those other things that are hot, cottage core maybe, right? But we need boho to be part of it, right? And be thinking outside the box as far as like, okay, are you going to be selling shirts? Maybe not right off the bat. I think I would go for the more of the home decor style, stuff. But does that mean you can't sell shirts and things? Yes, but you need proof that there's already people that are doing it. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Chris, you had
Scott,
something else you
what
wanted
if
to
we
add?
included some customization in the shop? So one of our Backstage Pass members is asking, if we're talking about the title and it's a custom item, would it be custom or personalized boho chic, or would you put that somewhere else in that title structure?
Well, I would say as long as something can be personalized, put the personalization in first. Personalized boho pillow, right? Like, yes, personalized. If you can personalize anything, here's a pro tip. If you can personalize anything,
I can.
you are definitely going to be able to stand out, because everyone that wants something personalized is going to put in personalized first, because they want that search to be filled with something that is able to be personalized.
Anush, I think you even said that's how you found Etsy to begin with, was you were getting married and ended up buying a bunch of the stuff for the wedding on Etsy. And you went, hey, like if other people can make money doing this, I can probably make some money doing this. And so if we can tie that into your niche, that's kind of a really cool point to bring up with your customers as well, which is like, I couldn't find everything that I wanted or whatever, you know, whatever the excuse is. And I know how special it made my day to be able to do this. And I want to be able to do this for everybody. It's a really cool connection piece for people. So Scott, I just pulled up boho wedding decor and then ran those two filters that we were talking about. Now I just have to sort it by sales, and we can take a look at what that market looks like really quickly to see if it's worth adding in something like this. And we know just based on what we've seen previously that this seems to be something that's doing pretty well so far. And so we can see these are all shops, Scott, that are under that 12-month limit. Yep. And we're looking at only products that include boho and show up for the search boho wedding decor.
Yep. Yeah. So, okay. So Anush, I'm going to say it again. Don't get distracted with other people's stuff, right? Like other people, like you had said, like, well, it's tough to compare yourself because, you know, other people are showing all this, that, and the other thing, or people are chasing trends, or people are doing whatever, right? Head down, boho, and basically take what we're talking about here and just run with it for 3 months. Just give yourself 3 months. I'm going to do it for 3 months and we're going to see what happens, right? That's what I would do before I even say, I want you to focus on, you know, other niches or even marketing outside of Etsy. Like right now, I think we still have to use the tools that are inside of Etsy, and making sure that that's all leveraged and utilized. But we want to make sure that we're launching products that have good demand. And that right there solves everything because now we got traffic. So was this helpful?
Very.
And why don't you tell us then here on the record, what is Anush going to do over the next 3 months?
I'm going to be working on my boho, personalized boho, cottagecore, whatever, trying even to branch out into the wedding industry for 3 months. Give it a try.
Awesome. And then what would you say to anyone else that's thinking about doing one of these Etsy shop audits?
Don't be scared. They're super cool. They're super nice. And they're not here to destroy you at all. Don't worry.
See that? Nothing to be scared of. So that's a wrap for this Etsy shop audit. But if you want to watch more, well, you can find some more right here. And if you do, well, I'll see you there.